Good morning, it's Kim Murden, Lewes Herbalist here. Just wanting to do a short video to update the one I did only 2 days ago. We live in obviously fast changing times with this pandemic. So just to reassure patients that I haven't spoken to already, that of course I'm still here, and now it's absolutely clear I'll only be doing telephone, Skype and WhatsApp consultations. I will be able to dispense the medicine, and I've got a safe collection spot on my doorstep, so if people are able to come and collect, then that's fine. Observing that you're not coming out unnecessarily, you weave it in with your exercise or your shopping trips. I will be able to do limited delivery also with those caveats around Lewes as well. And that also applies to anyone new who would like to make use of my services. We'll be using those means of communicating with each other and getting the herbs to you. And on that, I would like to say that I really am interested in supporting my local community in Neville, up here on the Neville. So, because that means people can easily walk here and pick stuff up, and it makes sense that we network that way, to me anyway. So what I first wanted to do, actually, because I'm aware, and I'm not wanting to teach people to suck eggs if they already know this stuff, I'm aware there are some confusions about understanding what the government's asking us to do, and I think it's absolutely vital we do follow that. And maybe it's not confusion, really. So anyway, let's go through it. So the hand washing, I'll put up on my Facebook page how to do the hand washing properly. Simple as, once you get into the habit of that. And why we need to do that is because our hands, we touch everything with our hands, and everyone else touches everything with our hands, and the virus will hop on, and then we go and touch our face, or we eat something and we convey the virus immediately into our body, and it will start to get a foothold. Viruses are they're it's an opportunistic life force. And with the hand washing, okay, so it's breaking that down, and it's killing it off, as is UV light. But again, there's lots of research of how long it's living on various surfaces, so I won't go into that here. And soap is brilliant. It is one of the best things to use. I used to live with a doctor, and they just, soap is just fine. So don't get paranoid. You can think it's got to be squeezy plastic soap, but use what you've got. And if you're going to use a hand sanitizer, it must have 65% alcohol in it. Otherwise, it's not going to do the job either. That's what you've only got to hand. Hand to hand. There you go. That's one of those words, isn't it? The distancing is so that we are really reducing the transference of the virus. So in terms of whether we're not quite sure if it is being transmitted in the air to people, but possibly, but if you cough or you sneeze, those droplets will come out, they'll have a viral load if you're infected and go on to the other person. That's why there's social distancing. So social distancing is if you are out and about and you're well. The next stage of this story, isn't it, is self-isolation. And I'm aware, I think there's confusion for some people about the two. You self-isolate if anyone in your household is showing symptoms of the coronavirus, or indeed yourself, because it is so busy and virulent. There's no two ways about it. And you may be unaware. You may not have the acute, symptoms coming, but children often are quite asymptomatic in passing it around the community. So you'll be shedding that virus everywhere, and that means other people are going to get really sick, if not die. And for yourself, if you're going out and about and you're starting to feel unwell, you're putting a huge stress on your immune system. Your immune system at this stage will be doing you a favour, trying to deal with the infection. And if you're overloading it with going out, you're going to build up problems for later down the line for yourself. And if you are then getting to that stage where you really are feeling unwell, go to bed. Go to bed, and you probably won't. If you are getting very ill with it, there's nothing else you can do because you feel so rubbish with it. And then follow all the things that one does to keep yourself well. Hydrated and rest, and just sipping things like boiled water. Things with honey and lemon. Take what the care of you that you need to do. And also say turn off your Wi-Fi at that stage. These are all things that just accumulate and make our immune systems more challenged. So really important to take note of that. If you end up in a very challenged space, obviously that's not going to be a zone where herbalists are going to be operating. You're going to be off into hospital, and I really pray for you really that you don't end up there, because that's going to be a tough situation. And there's people there. I've got family members who work in medicine. I've got someone who's working in medicine in Paris, and there's plenty of things up on the news and social media of doctors saying, please, keep away. Keep away from us if you don't, from the system, if you're able to look after yourself well. And please respect the fact that, the whole reason to stay at home is to stop this thing going further out, and we're getting, grip. Sadly, it's got London in its grip, and it is getting young people as well as old people. I think maybe the message for people who don't quite understand the world of medicine, maybe they've just heard, oh, it just gets old people and that I'm going to be all right. That's not necessarily the case. And it's not necessarily the case that, you get very sick and then you die and everything's fine. You may get it and you may be in a long stage of recovery. We're not quite clear of all the implications to your long-term health if you get this. And I heard one very touching interview with a doctor in St George's earlier in the week. She's saying, yes, people are coming in who've been fit and healthy, otherwise, sort of 30, 40-year-old men, and they're really struggling. So let's observe that and say it is 70% of the cases worldwide of the mortality are males. So men, please take care of yourself, please, please, please. And yeah. So in terms of the herbs that you can do, I'm going to do a separate video on that because it's a bit more, it'll take too long, I think, to do this. I just want to talk a little bit more about adrenal stress. We're obviously all in a very absolutely shocked adrenal stress. There's a stage to this, that we've gone into this new way of being, and there's a sort of moment of busyness, and there's a moment of catching up, and the surrealness. So these are all very natural things, and I would just say be kind to yourself and others in that. It's a huge adjustment, and to say if we stay too much in that stressy place, watching too much news or stuff on social media, and or sort of drinking, smoking, too much sugar, that's going to push our immune systems down, and it means we can't think straight and we can't act well and be resourced. So that's why I go on about that. So I think it will settle, and to know it's okay to actually name the things you're feeling. You could write them down, you could just say them gently, you can just say, I'm feeling frightened or I'm feeling confused. And indeed, that very act of saying it often will alleviate the tension. I think we've privileged getting too fretful and busy, and what this time is now asking us to do is all be much stiller, and not consuming anything or over consuming anything is not the answer. The answer is to stop. If you do have access to a garden or being able to sit on a balcony or look out the window, enjoy what the nature of the day is offering you, because it hopefully is a bit quieter. You might hear the bird song, you might see a butterfly go by. Really connect, and if you can get out for your bit of exercise, connect with the earth and honor it. And a really simple thing for those of you who aren't familiar with sort of meditation practices or really relaxation processes, I'm just going to give you a very, very quick and simple, effective breathing exercise now that calms the system. It does wonders for your, the alkalinity of your blood, the pH, the right pH of your blood. It deepens your breathing, and it helps with agitated states. So, if you feel agitated, you can do it, or if you just don't want to do it at any point in the day to expand. Maybe you're feeling quite relaxed, and you just want to expand that further. It's a resource, okay? So all you do, I'm going to sort of talk and do it at the same time. It's a bit tricky when you're doing breathing exercise, but you just breathe out, and then you breathe in deeply. Put hands on your belly. Breathe in deeply to the count of 7. Hold it for 3, and then out again to the count of 7. And just do that 3 times. Immediately, everything settles. So important for your adrenals, important for the whole processing of your body. And actually, in terms of lung capacity, because this is a virus that is getting right down to the base of the lung and causing havoc with the pneumonia, anything that you can do should you succumb to being affected by it, that is just enlivening your breath at the moment, is a good thing. All right, I'm going to stop there, and then I'm going to do one a bit more, why herbs are useful. All right, thanks for listening. Bye bye.